what's going on, guys? It's the Well, What Do You Think crew. It's me, Omi.
I'm Alvin.
We got Alvin here, and today we're doing a short discussion video on Beau DeMayo, the creator of X-Men 97, and all the kind of controversy that is surrounding him and Marvel and Disney. And we all got it locked here. So, Alvin, as we're just discussing, did you see Beau DeMayo's tweet he had earlier this week?
I did not read into it. Like I did not see it directly, but all I know is
Mhm.
that I saw the photo that he posted, and it was just like him as Cyclops, shirtless,
So,
right?
so for people who don't know, Beau DeMayo was fired mysteriously from X Men '97, I believe, before the launch of the season,
Yeah.
and many people, us included, were curious, like, oh, he's been this show is amazing. Why is he fired? If they're not going to tell us specifically why he's fired, so he had this tweet, I believe, a couple days ago, saying that he was fired from Marvel and Disney on, I think it was the day of Gay Pride, that he posted a picture of uh, him looking like Cyclops wearing underwear, the belt, and just the visor. And I think it just said Happy Pride Day or something along those lines. And he claims that Disney fired him on that day, citing his post uh, as the reason. And what's interesting is when we all saw that, I was like, wow, fuck Marvel, fuck Disney, because it comes off very much of like um fake allies. They will always talk about like um being inclusive, being a member and ally of the LGBTQ community, and then they fire someone because they're so openly uh gay. But what it seems like is Marvel retaliated and they gave their statement. Now it's kind of becoming a little controversial because Beau says he was fired for this. Marvel said he's fired for that. And what Marvel was claiming was that he was fired due to sexual harassment of sending pictures to several staffers that asked him to stop, and they said Beau would not stop. And they also claimed that Beau was groping other staffers. So now it kind of puts all this into controversy because we don't really know what to trust right now. Right, Alvin? What are your thoughts on that?
This is gonna be a very tough video to film because it's like I don't know
He said,
really
he said.
because okay, this I'm like stumbling over my words because we enjoy the product that has been put out, and when we hear what has happened with the creator and the head writer of the show doing this, it kind of makes you think. And I don't know about you, Omid, but for me, we now kind of have to learn to separate the art from the artist, where you can
Mhm.
appreciate someone's work, but you don't have to necessarily like the person who created the work. So whatever happens with Beau DeMayo and his tenure at Marvel, whatever happened there, we don't really know the full story. But I guess to be very, to cover all the playing fields, if he did do what Marvel alleges, then it's good that he's fired, right? Great, get him out, find someone new who can take up the mantle. But if this blows up to be bigger than it is, and their Beau was kind of saying some truth, right? And Marvel did fire him over very uncircumstantial evidence, then
Yeah.
I don't think that it is fair that he was let go. So I guess we're covering both sides because I really don't know what to say. We're just kind of
Yeah, because
covering
we're
the
waiting.
news. I don't know if we should have an opinion of it. We're just covering what happened, which is
Because yeah, I mean, right now it's he said, she said type thing.
yeah.
But I was telling Alvin this, and I don't know, like as I was discussing with you earlier, I feel like if it was something as open and shut as sexual harassment and groping, I think they would have announced that he was fired and why he was fired. But I feel like since they kept it under wraps, it makes me kind of believe what Bo DeMayo was saying, that maybe it was tied to the post that he had, and now they're just trying to flip it and spin it and say it was sexual harassment, right? Because I feel like they would have just come out and said it.
Mhm. Yeah. I mean, it would have been a lot simpler. The we talked about this when it happened, right? Back in March. before X-Men 97 premiered, when we saw that Beau DeMayo was fired, all of us were like, whoa, like what happened? Why did this happen? And I think the weirdest part of this whole thing was that they just let him go randomly with no reason. They didn't kind of
Yeah.
list anything, right?
Right before the show started.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
And I think now that they're coming back retroactively months later and are now quote unquote revealing why they let him go, it does kind of raise a few eyebrows, you know, obviously like
Because this is also tied to his Emmy nomination, right? Because episode 5, remember it, was written by him, and that's nominated by an Emmy. He was saying that he hasn't been invited yet by Marvel to attend the ceremony for a show he might win. So I think that was kind of his. He had the ball in their court. Oh, just invite me there, and we don't need to discuss why I got fired. Just invite me there so I can possibly accept my award. And when Marvel, I guess, they didn't play ball or just continued to ignore him, maybe he was like, all right, now I'm going to bring out the receipts, which I don't know. It's interesting because I mean I obviously really enjoy Beau DeMayo's work, and I really hope he was not dumb enough to send just nudes to staffers, because I'm like, what the hell do you think it was gonna happen?
yeah.
Like, I hope he wasn't just power hungry, where he's like, oh, I can do what I want because I'm leading this huge Marvel show, right? If it is, then I'm like, yeah, then get him out of here.
Yeah. I think also another reason why this was brought up, I like why I guess Disney retaliated was because they decided to take his name off of his work for season 2, right?
Oh yeah, I saw that
They
credit stripped.
yeah, they struck his credit, and I think that is what kind of it was like a huge snowball effect, or because
The straw that broke the camel's back.
yeah, because he's no longer being credited for the work that he has done. Season 2 is done,
Mm-hmm.
right? They finished writing it. He finished writing it, but they're no longer going to credit him. So he, I guess, you know, rightfully so, has just expressed his feelings about it. You know, he's able to express his feelings about, you know, his name being taken off of what he created, and then I think
Yeah,
it kind of just blew up from there, where like he just ended up spilling the beans, I guess, randomly, where he's just
yeah,
like, I got fired because of this post, and then you know, it's just like boom, 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 you know, one side, he said, she said, what you're talking about, right? So
yeah.
I don't know.
Because did you also say didn't he mention he was also working on Blade? Was he talking about the Blade movie, or was there like a Blade show or
No,
a Blade game?
so I think he's been internally with Marvel Studios for a little bit because he wrote on some of Moon Knight. I think he was in the writers' room for Moon Knight, and I think they
Mhm.
liked what he did on Moon Knight, and they brought him over to X-Men 97. I think he pitched it to them, and then from my understanding, this was during like when Blade was going to be set in the 1920s, and he was taking care of his daughter, and it was set in the old times. So I think he was working on the draft for Marvel
Is
for
it with Mahershala?
with Mahershala for a very very early version of Mahershala's Blade that was supposed to be released. You know, it was supposed to be released like
Wasn't it announced 5 years ago?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Jesus,
Yeah,
bro.
I know. But yeah, he was on that, and then they just went in a different direction, so they're not using his story anymore. And I guess
Which
now,
now makes me kind of scared.
yeah, I guess
Because I think they
now
said
he's
didn't they say
done.
that the writer of What If is joining 97?
Oh, see, I didn't follow up on anything else after. Like, I don't know who they brought in. I don't know what else is going on for 97.
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Uh, but I believe they were saying they got one of the writers for What If, and I saw like on Twitter people saying, "Man, this is gonna be the hardest fall off like in TV history," as like a joke because of how good Beau DeMayo was and how bad What If is. Because when you see X Men, the whole thing is an outsider's story and someone who's othered, being othered by the majority, and it kind of feels like that's what's happening to Beau. And someone was saying like, "Oh, it's just a straight white guy writing stories for X Men '97 about an oppressed community. What do they know?" Which I'm like, that's kind of fair, but we have to wait and see what he can make. But I think it's just really kind of like ironic to see that Beau DeMayo, if this is a big if, I was like, if he is truly innocent and he's getting fired by the corporation of X Men because they're like, oh, you're too different than what we want to be. You didn't fall in line, so we got to get rid of you. And like that, is just so ironic. I feel like
Yeah.
something like X Men
No, I agree. I think it's just kind of you're right, where it's just like he is a minority. He's an outsider, and I feel like he
and LGBTQ.
exactly like he's able to bring his own experiences and kind of relate them to the mutants in the Marvel universe, and then now I guess like the government or like the big the big corporation Disney Marvel they just kind of boot him for kind of
Yeah,
you know I don't know.
stepping out of line.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, dude, I don't really don't know what
I mean,
else to say.
we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait for this drama to unfold. I have my fingers crossed. I hope Beau DeMayo's in the right. I hope he was not as stupid as Disney is saying he is. Because if he is, then yeah, you deserve to get fired. We don't need you here. I just hope he wasn't that dumb. I hope he wouldn't have done something like that because he truly made something very special that spoke to a lot of people. And I like to believe that he's a good guy,
Yeah,
but we don't know him.
yeah,
So we have to wait, keep our ears open, keep our eyes open for the news. Was there anything else you want to discuss the news, Alvin? I believe you mentioned there was something on John Wick, or do we want to say that for another time?
yeah. No, if you wanted to bring up John Wick 5, we can. It's just I guess it just got announced today. What are your
Was that
thoughts?
today?
Yeah, it was. It was
Oh,
like I know it was crazy, but Lionsgate announced John Wick 5 with Keanu Reeves returning for filming in 2025 apparently.
yeah, I saw Mauricio, I think, responded to it, and he kind of said he was happy. He was like, "Oh, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen John Wick 4, go and click away if you haven't." But John Wick dies in the end of John Wick Chapter 4, which I think is a beautiful ending. But Mauricio was claiming, he's like, "Oh, it felt kind of awkward and rushed the way he dies in 4." And I fundamentally disagreed with that because I'm like, I feel like this was now the perfect time to spin off John Wick into either Donnie Yen or the daughter of Hiroyuki Sanada and make that like that revenge story. Because I feel like what else does John have left?
Yeah.
Like, what other story is there to tell with him?
No, I completely agree. I think they ended his story arc perfectly. He's at peace. He died. He finished his mission, and
Yeah,
I don't really like the
there's
idea.
no one.
Yeah, I don't really like the idea of them quote unquote resurrecting Keanu Reeves, John Wick, just for a quick buck. But
Yeah,
also, I do trust Chad Stahelski. I trust Keanu Reeves. So if they do have something cracked, if they have a story cracked, then I will be there day one to watch it.
I hope so. Like, I mean, I trust both of them, but I'm like, you guys ended on like a perfect. I love John Wick 4. It's possibly the best in the saga. Um, I hope they know what they're doing. I mean, they're very smart filmmakers. They're a great actor. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a smart decision, but we're gonna have to wait and see. Anything else in the news out? We just saw Romulus. I believe it opened very well. Not surprising.
Mm-hmm.
$100 million opening on an 80 million budget, so I think he's gonna be in the green.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Anything else, Alvin?
No, we didn't get a chance to do a D23 roundup. But there's a lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff for D23. We'll probably do a separate video for that. Maybe a little bit too late, but we'll still discuss our thoughts on it. But I think that was it for now. We kind of just wanted to discuss the big thing that came out for Beau DeMayo, X-Men 97. Um,
Yeah, just a quick little discussion because we're big X Men fans, and
yeah.
we hope to see the story unfold in a pleasant way. Hopefully, no one is bad.
Yeah, that is true. But I guess that's it for this video. Um, Comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned to the channel. We'll come out with more videos of just movie news, movie reviews. We have different series going on. So if you like pop culture, if you like
Yeah,
movies, if you like Friends, then just stay tuned.
yeah, we got a Romulus video coming out pretty soon, and I believe we're also doing a fan four stick title defense where Amir is defending fan four stick of why he think the movie's good. Alvin and I will be saying why we think the movie's trash. That should be coming out pretty shortly. Keep your eyes open for that. I think, as he said, yeah, keep it locked on the channel. It's been me, Omid,
It's been me, Alvin.
and Alvin. Thank you for watching, guys. Click the subscribe button, and we'll see you soon.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.